How are you feeling about it all?
Obviously, very nervous. But I hate to tell you that I'm not going to be either dressing or undressing the king.
Oh no! Are you not going to be? You're going to be handing him stuff?
I will be handing him things. Yes.
Okay. Oh, that's good to hear. So tell us exactly what you're going to be handing him. What is your involvement in this whole event?
My involvement is I have several roles to play. I am part of the procession which goes into Westminster Abbey, and I will be leading the part of the procession which it includes the King and the Queen. There's a lot that goes before me, all the religious side and the heralds and so on and so forth. So once the procession is over and various other things happen, I will be presenting him with part of the royal regalia. And I will specifically be presenting him with the golden spurs, which date back to the time of Richard I. The particular spurs I'll be giving him are not those because they were melted down by Cromwell. They're somewhat newer, but I will be presenting those, and they, as I understand it, signify knighthood, chivalry, bravery, etc. And then I will be disappearing, and then standing behind the king and receiving another part of the royal regalia. I think it's the glove. While
You better check that before the day.
and then hopefully I'll be sitting down and enjoying the service.
Oh, bless. Oh, I love the fact that you kind of, you're very, you're very invested in it, but you kind of want to just do your bit and then you can relax a little bit. What are you going to be wearing?
I am going to be wearing my Lord Great Chamberlain tunic, which has got my key of office on the back. It hangs on the back, and it's a wonderful silver gilt key which now has the initials, the royal insignia of Charles III. I don't think, however, you're going to be able to see it because I will be wearing on top a coronation robe. The coronation robe, which is a splendid garment, it's huge, with all that ermine and everything else, will disguise most things and no doubt keep me warm.
Yes, indeed. And is it, you've obviously tried it on already. Is this all quite heavy?
Quite heavy, yes. But so is the tunic.
Yes.
Yeah. But we've only just been told we're allowed to wear coronation robes. And of course, the reason for that is that most people's coronation robes have been devoured by moths.
Yes.
But luckily mine are in good order.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Now, you saw the King and the Queen Consort earlier this week. How are they? And I say Queen Consort advisedly because she'll be officially named Queen Camilla at the ceremony on Saturday. So how are they?
They appear extremely well, very relaxed, and it's been an absolute pleasure working with them at the rehearsals.
When there's not a coronation on, what do you do? What does your job entail, being the Lord Great Chamberlain?
I took on this role, obviously, when the King succeeded Queen Elizabeth, so back in September. The current responsibilities of the Lord Great Chamberlain are fairly few. I am his representative in the Palace of Westminster, and I'm responsible for what goes on in various of the state rooms there, and of course Westminster Hall. Most of the powers were removed by Harold Wilson in, I think it was 1962, and I'm greatly relieved that they were, because I would otherwise be responsible for the renovation and renewal of the Houses of Parliament.
Oh, goodness me. No one wants to be responsible for that, do they?
No. But I am also, I'm happy to say, a working peer. I've been sitting in the House of Lords for the last 5 years, and I'm a crossbencher, so I try not to say anything too controversial, but I think I now understand how the government works, how opposition works, and it's a a very good basic training to being Lord Great Chamberlain.
What do you say to people who because the history of it I find fascinating. You talk about the Spurs dating back to Richard and all of that. Some people would say, I suppose, this is all ridiculous in 2023. This sort of harking back to a sort of medievalism, the pageantry of the past. It plays no role in the modern world. Your role itself feels like an anachronism. What do you say to people like that?
Well, I think it is an anachronism. There's no getting away from that. And I'm afraid to tell you that it dates way back from Richard I. My original ancestors were appointed in 1133 by Henry I. But I think that it may be an anachronism, but the tourist industry in this country is extremely important, and the pageantry that is going on around the coronation and other state occasions is a very important part of our economy. But having said that, I also believe that I have a real role within Parliament, within the Palace of Westminster, and so it's not purely an anachronism, but yes, I agree with you.
It is also an anachronism.
It's also an anachronism.
But you love the history. The history of it seems to me something that whatever your views on monarchy or politics or whatever it might be, that the idea of living history feels like something that we can all cling to here.
That is absolutely true. And when I read about what my forebears did, we're talking about forebears who signed the Magna Carta, who fought at the Battle of Crécy and Agincourt, and it goes on like that.
That's magnificent.
It really is. Well, thank you so much for coming in. Actually, one other question I just wanted to ask, which is, do you get paid a fee for doing this? A kind of old-fashioned, kind of, historically required fee?
Well,
I don't need to know an amount, but is that true?
Give us an amount.
He looks persuadable, doesn't he?
When I, as everybody else who is involved, put in their claim to do this particular role at the Court of Claims, I did add an extra remark that the Lord Great Chamberlain had traditionally been paid a fee. In fact, the Lord Great Chamberlain in years gone by received all sorts of things, from thrones to the underwear of the monarch to God knows what else. However, when lodging my claim, I looked at my great-great-uncle's claim, and he claimed 40 ells of crimson velvet. I haven't had a response to that, so I don't think I'm going to be getting it. And I'm not entirely sure what I'd do with it if I did get it.
I'll take one L off you. I don't know what an L is, but I'll take. I love a bit of velvet.